exists to fill a need, even if it's a perceived need. This need is a product or service created with direct or indirect contributions from a set of stakeholders having different skill sets and roles connected through a sequence of processes or sub-processes. Processes are related to each other such that the output of one process becomes the input of the next process in the workflow. Different people, skills, tools, and resources come into play as the product moves through the workflow. To improve a workflow or set of processes, all of the elements that comprise it must first be identified. To this end, SIPOC diagrams are very useful. A SIPOC diagram is a high-level process map that shows suppliers, inputs, processes, outputs, and customers of a process. Using SIPOC diagrams helps you define the start and end points of a process, identify various stakeholders in the process, sub-processes, and steps, and understand the process from a number of different perspectives. All of these activities are needed to determine which processes need improvement. The target of continuous improvement efforts is the process, the building block of the organization. Dr. Joseph Juran defined process as the logical organization of people, materials, energy, equipment, and information into work activities designed to produce a required end result, product or service. Business processes have three main characteristics. They're a series of events that produce outputs. They're also defined through numerous steps. And finally, their beginning and end points are marked by boundaries. Access the content, process maps, and SIPOC diagrams after the video if you wish to review the components of these diagrams. Processes and stakeholders are dynamically linked together in a business system. The system is the overarching method or procedure for process execution, ensuring that each process receives the resources it needs at the right times. The process is the heart of the system and the focus of Six Sigma improvement. Processes connect stakeholders through organizational functions to the larger business systems. A process can be further divided into sub-processes, which can be broken into steps. A step is the smallest unit of work that can be measured. Most businesses have multiple systems, a variety of stakeholders, and hundreds of processes. The processes that are essential to creating value for the business are core processes. For example, marketing and customer service are core processes for most organizations. All other processes are considered support processes. Support processes provide vital resources or support to sustain core processes. For example, purchasing and human resources serve the entire supply chain, or a large portion of it, but they are not the main business of the organization. The processes that are classified as core processes can vary from organization to organization. For example, a company that sells IT services would classify IT as a core process, while a company that sells luxury yachts might classify IT as a support process. However, some processes are considered core in all organizations. Marketing processes are associated with company branding, developing strategies for publicizing the company and its products, and identifying and acquiring customers. Sales and service processes are associated with identifying, attracting, and building relationships with external customers and facilitating the placement of orders. Product creation processes are associated with procuring materials from suppliers and producing the products or services. And product development processes are associated with creating new designs, conducting research and development, and supporting the manufacturing processes. All core processes meet three criteria. A process is generally core if you can answer yes to three questions. Does the process cross multiple departments? Does the process generate revenues for the organization? And is the process customer-focused? Core processes use the talents of people from different departments in order to produce the desired output. Support processes generally occur within a single department. For example, product development spans multiple departments, such as design, IT, and R&D. Finance serves multiple departments, but it does not require the work of employees from different departments. A core process has the potential to generate money for the company. A process may also be core if it helps to retain customers, or if it produces a product or service. Sales and product development generate revenue and retain customers, Human resources does not. The payment of claims in an insurance company doesn't generate revenue, but it is core because it retains customers. A core process is focused on the external customer. Companies may be other companies, distributors, or consumers. Marketing is customer-focused because it attracts customers. However, IT and payroll are not customer-focused. Identifying core processes is a major step in process improvement. Six Sigma is generally only applied to core processes or to a combination of core and support processes. Improving the wrong process is a waste of both time and money. In Six Sigma, a stakeholder is defined as the person or organization that is directly or indirectly impacted by Six Sigma deployment in an organization. These stakeholders may be internal or external to an organization, but they always have some interest in the process that will be the target of Six Sigma initiative. In order to understand the interactive relationships among business systems, processes, and internal and external stakeholders, it's important to identify your stakeholders first. Once identified, you can assess the influence and importance of each stakeholder relationship for the Lean Six Sigma initiative in the organization. Examples of stakeholders include employees, managers, shareholders, and customers. Process stakeholders have a stake in the outcome of a Six Sigma improvement process. Internal process stakeholders include process owners, process operators, supervisors, employees, managers, internal customers to the process, and internal process suppliers within that process. External process stakeholders include external suppliers and external customers to the process. These are generally external to the organization, but could be internal if it's a short process. Other types of external process stakeholders could include maintenance and support personnel, and senior leadership and owners. Stakeholders in Six Sigma improvement projects can also be categorized as internal or external to the process. Internal stakeholders are those who are directly involved in the improvement project. This might include Six Sigma team members, green belts, black belts, coaches or master black belts, process owners, process operators, supervisors, employees, managers, internal customers to the process, and internal process suppliers within that process. External stakeholders include the employees and managers from another process or department that is impacted, champion or sponsors, vendors, external customers and suppliers, and senior management and owners. There are several types of organizational stakeholders, both internal and external to the organization. Internal stakeholders work directly within the business and can include employees, managers, and owners. External stakeholders include suppliers, society, government, creditors, shareholders, and customers, those outside the organization that are affected by outcome of a project or decision. To identify stakeholders for a specific initiative, you need to answer certain questions. Who would be impacted by the outcomes? Who will provide the inputs? Who will use the inputs? Who might hamper the progress? Who uses the process? These key questions help identify who should be included in the list of key stakeholders for the initiative. The relationships between stakeholders are very important to the smooth functioning of organizations' business systems. Organizational processes run through various functional areas involving stakeholders in these areas: operations and quality, human resources management, finance and accounting, and marketing and sales. In addition, human resources management interacts with internal employees and external contractors, and marketing and sales with external customers. All the functions in the organization are connected through information, mutual roles, and processes. Therefore, relationships between stakeholders might affect the outcome for the whole system. Consideration should also be given to the support processes. These support processes include information technology, procurement, strategy development, and continuous improvement. When analyzing processes for improvement opportunities, staying focused on the big picture, the goals of the organization, stakeholder, and the core processes is absolutely essential. A company that loses sight of the big picture may improve the wrong processes and find itself in trouble. Consider this example. To accomplish its goal of speedy delivery, a company that specializes in parcel delivery is divided into 4 functional areas or business units. The first functional area is pickup. Here, delivery trucks pick up packages from homes and businesses and deliver them to local warehouses. The next functional area is centralization. Parcels are sorted at the local warehouses and sent by truck and airplane to central distribution points all over the world. Dispersion is the third functional area. Packages are again sorted at the central distribution points and distributed to local distribution points. The final functional area is delivery. From local distribution centers, parcels are trucked to their final destinations. Each functional area has its own vice president and internal infrastructure. The company encourages business units to make their own decisions and set their own team goals. In time, the business units become insular and operate almost like separate companies. The manager in charge of dispersion determines that he can reduce overseas delivery times by 40% by replacing the fleet of planes with faster, larger airplanes. He makes the change and sits back, awaiting adulation from his peers. Unfortunately, the overseas distribution centers cannot respond quickly enough to the change, and they soon accumulate a sizable backlog. The company's much advertised and much coveted delivery time of 3 days to anywhere in the world increases by as much as several weeks on some routes. The competition quickly moves in and takes over some key delivery routes. This cautionary tale underscores what can happen when people lose sight of the big picture. The company's goal of speedy delivery was undermined when one stakeholder improved his process to the detriment of others. A modern organization can be an extremely complex organism. However, when the organization is broken down into core processes, the picture is often simplified. For example, a multinational manufacturing company employs 11,000 people in 3 countries, but it is able to distill its operations into 4 core processes. First, product development is essential for creating new products. Sub-processes include product creation and R&D. It also supports production by supplying design specifications and clarification. The second core process, product creation, creates the products the company sells. Sub-processes include procurement, manufacturing, inventory, and quality assurance. Marketing is the third core process and is essential for branding and for identifying and acquiring customers. Finally, the sales and service process is a direct link with external customers and is the final core process. Its focus is on providing customers with what they need and making sure they are happy. Core processes interact with each other and with support processes to create value. After identifying core processes, it's important for you to plot and analyze their interactions with a process map. The map also enables you to show how processes are performed across functional lines or business units. Functional areas, sometimes called business units, are groups of processes that work together to accomplish specific functions. The 3 functional areas on this map are operations, marketing, and sales and service. External suppliers provide raw materials for the product creation processes. Workers in the product creation processes in the operations functional area receive raw materials from suppliers, exchange information about customer wants and needs with marketing staff, and exchange information about product features and functions with product development personnel. Marketing is a key portal. It's how information on customer wants and needs enters the organization, and how information about the organization's products and services reaches the customer. Marketing information is an input to all other core processes, and marketing personnel receive output directly from all other core processes. Sales and service is a key portal for the direct exchange of information with customers. Sales and service personnel interact with marketing staff and with product development personnel. Product development personnel interact with workers in all of the other core processes. Information is exchanged about products, services, features, and functions with personnel in product creation, marketing, and sales and service. External customers communicate directly with sales and service personnel. The support processes interact directly with all of the core processes. An organization conducts business through employees and business systems that consist of processes, sub-processes, and steps. The process is the heart of the business system and is the focus of continuous improvement. There are core processes and support processes. Core processes are essential to the accomplishment of a company's mission and goals. Support processes serve the core processes and the organization. Process improvement begins with identifying core processes and identifying how they relate to each other with a process map. Stakeholders are the people or organizations that are affected by the execution of a project and can be either internal or external. Examples of stakeholders include employees, managers, shareholders, customers, government, vendors, and other parties. It is also important to understand how stakeholders are involved in Six Sigma projects and how the outcome of a project